Merge it on over.
That's a do-over.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are
Go
you
ahead.
clicking it back and forth, Jay?
I did by accident. You said merge it over.
I guess I was talking. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Word of John Matt and Jay. You can fade it out now, Jay.
Fade what out?
The music. Just hit the stop on the music. You know how to do that. I know you know how to operate a CD player.
Pause it.
Yeah, go ahead and just pause it. Give her a good old stop. Stopsy.
Hey, I just paused it.
I was going to say, you look...
All right.
Hey, I could have anti-volumed it.
I
I could have
Yeah.
devolumed it
couldn't see it first.
with a fade. Hello. Good morning,
I'm trying
everybody.
to figure out. Oh,
Good
that's
morning.
Republic. That's a. What do you call it? The funeral home just tried to call me a bit ago. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
We're glad
And
to
this
have
has
everybody
been-
on board with us today.
And this is Ben
The Morning Drive. Wait.
with
This
Matt and
is
Jay.
the Morning Drive.
Oh, this
We're
is
not
the
talking
Morning
to that
Drive.
yet.
Right. Oh.
So this is Matt here
Time warp.
talking to you from home. I had a little bit of a head
Sniffle.
cold, so just to be safe, I am not anywhere near the office for a couple days, monitoring myself. So yeah, Matt's on the phone. Everybody
Yay.
you
Yes.
got
We're glad to be
Steve
back.
Steve Mickey Mac is back.
Yes.
I guess
Good
I
morning. Boy, the Lord sure is good. I'll tell you what.
Well, so what now, there, Steve?
I just said the morning. I just said the Lord is good, and it's glad to be. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah,
Oh,
been a while, Steve.
Yes,
Been a couple weeks, few weeks.
Yes.
4 weeks.
yes. I feel like I was just telling you guys that I feel like the new kid on the block again. It's been a year. Actually, a year last week is when I started my show.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yep.
So why were
That
you
is
gone,
la
Steve?
cray. Now, I am warning you guys that it is possible that if Mom should call while I'm on the phone with you guys, I will have to exit stage right while you guys finish up the show. But as of right now, she's okay. She's in there sleeping. Her illness is getting better. Now
Good.
we just got to work on getting her out of bed and moving around and stuff. So.
Good.
For those of you who don't know, we lost my dad last week, last Tuesday.
Yep.
Is it Tuesday, Jay?
I thought it was Monday.
I thought it was Monday.
No, I think it was Tuesday. It was the day before.
Why did Jim
was the
Whining
day
send me a friend
before-
request?
Don't ignore it. He said somebody's sending friend requests with his name and picture.
Yeah, I know that.
said ignore
I
him.
ignored it. I talked to Pam and I ignored it.
People do that. They try to get your information, and they try to get you. They want to steal your stuff.
Well, yeah,
And
somebody
then they
sent
want to
me
get other people.
a thing from Greene County Tax Collector's Office this morning.
Whoa.
Isn't that exciting?
It's like,
Morning stuff, by the way.
Well, I've got all my
What did
tax
they-
receipts, so
You got all your taxes paid?
I got all my taxes paid and I've got all my receipts.
Me too.
Yeah, and then sometimes they'll call and be like, "Hello, this is Bob from the U.S. Department of Treasury."
That you put that.
And I'm
That
like-
was great.
U.S. Department of Treasury. You mean United States Department of Treasury? Yes, I was just calling to let you know that we have your phone number has been selected to receive $500.
Yeah.
That's an actual call that I
Or
got.
they're calling to arrest
By the
you.
way.
Yeah. Well, they
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
They don't call
Oh,
you.
yeah.
No.
There is a warrant out for your arrest, and I will be processing this unless you pay $500 and going to pay it off today.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Now that it's not specifically East Indian,
Hi, Doug. Sorry.
but a lot of it like Manila and places like that. There's a lot of phone scams. We will say this. Have I introduced everybody? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Drive. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name's Steve. I thought we went through this.
Okay.
Why does it
everybody
sound
on
like
board
a
with this
clip? And yeah, why does it sound like it's clipping?
It does over here. Well, a little bit.
Does it?
What do you mean?
I keep hearing something sound like a clip. Something's clipping. But
Huh.
it's all right. We'll get through it.
By clipping, what do you mean clipping?
Clipping, like the signal's too hot and distorting, breaking up.
Well, I don't
Oh,
hear.
that's probably on my headphones.
Ah,
I was hearing that last week too. Well,
I
not
wasn't.
last week because we weren't there at all last week.
I was going
but-
to say I didn't hear it on my headphones. Wait.
so there are other illnesses going around besides COVID. But Steve, now you had COVID,
Yes, I did.
and you had
Yes.
blood clots in your lungs.
Yes, both, and they were like, like those dots you see on a cupcake. I mean, just sprinkle. I mean, they were all over both lungs.
Really?
Yeah, there was, and they were small enough to where they could have went into the artery towards the heart, and that's where it was headed, if they didn't catch it in time.
Wow.
So there could have been a massive heart attack.
That's not
there.
good.
I know somebody just died from a blood clot in their lung.
Yeah, but I had several, and I was probably close to ventilator. I didn't quite get there.
Yeah,
but
who was?
what was that?
We do know somebody. Who was that just passed away because
Barney's
of a blood
mom.
clot in their lung? Oh yeah, no, that was his sister.
His sister.
died from a blood clot in her lung.
Yeah.
And then 10 days later, he lost his mom, and
Yeah.
then 5 days later, we lost Dad.
Yep.
So
So it's been a rough week, rough couple of weeks.
yeah, it's been a rough couple of weeks. Okay, so there are a lot of people out there that before this outbreak of COVID didn't take it seriously. So, just reminding everybody, if you're coming up to the office, if you're not at the table, you are wearing a mask. And if you're not wanting to wear a mask, you'll have to stand outside.
Yep.
Because that's going to be strictly enforced, the mask policy. Because we don't want anybody else to catch this, and God forbid, we don't want anybody else bringing it home to their loved ones and their loved ones passing away. So, for those of you who don't know, which I'm sure pretty much everybody knows, that Dad passed away Tuesday, the day before Veterans Day, from COVID.
Yep. So good morning, Larry Melton, and Matt's mom is doing well. Of course, ups and downs. She was very, very distraught, of course. I mean, Uncle Bruce really
naturally
was her husband, and she was not in good health for quite a long time, and so he was her caregiver. So she lost a husband, a lover, and a caregiver, and that's a hard thing to do.
Yes.
It's a hard thing to go through.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
And then, the business of the day doesn't stop because somebody passes away. The living,
You can't
Right.
because
the living live on, and there's bills to
We gotta
be
continue.
prepared for, and a household to manage and run. There's horses to feed and grain to get, and all kinds of things that have to be done. And it doesn't stop. You don't really get. It's a good thing that workplaces and stuff give you time off when you lose somebody, because it's a hard time to adjust to.
and they need to remember that about their own families, because what they're doing for us, we would want to do for them. And I think out of being gracious, and employers is what I'm talking about. They were good with Rachel. I mean, they told her because they wanted to make sure that she was done with her cough, and they just said, "We'll pay you. Just stay home, and don't worry about the pay. We'll pay you." So, not many jobs, not many employers were willing to do that at first. But I guess it was mandatory, wasn't it, for a while?
that they pay. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And the money was provided by the U.S. government. The wage, the missed pay.
Morning, Jimmy Davis. Oh, by the way,
But we're talking about passing away is and I think getting into gear, looking through the business that needed to be the business at hand, the things that needed to be taken care of, keeps the mind occupied. and it keeps you moving. It reminds you that there's that you're still here, and you're still alive, and that there's work to be done, and there's things that need to be taken care of, which is also a difficult adjustment. A lot of people go through a guilt phase with that. So somebody passes away, and they have to look into the finances and figure out what the bills are and how much money there is and all. And there's sort of a
usually
guilt.
way more daunting than you might think.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, because you don't know
and you
where
can
they
take
keep
it
all their
one-
stuff.
Yeah, like one fire at a time. You know, it is a very daunting task, and I'm very thankful to everybody out there. We are surrounded by a bunch of people that are wonderful, supportive people that really give us encouragement and stuff. But you're right, the world doesn't stop. The bills don't stop coming due, and we can't give up because Dad wouldn't
Good
want
morning,
us
Marshall.
to give up.
No, he wouldn't.
So he would. He
never
would be
gave
mad
up.
if we did.
Yeah.
No,
He would say, stay
didn't.
strong and do what you need to do.
Yeah. COVID, he had
Yeah.
2 stays in the hospital with the COVID. He came home
Yeah,
and
and they were
took care
pretty
of
close.
business while he was home for a few days and then went back to the hospital.
even
and
though he
passed
shouldn't
away.
have. He should have stayed in bed. But again,
He was
That's,
stubborn in that way, I
I'm gonna-
guess.
yeah. Sorry about that.
By the
I'm
way-
trying to be able to watch our video that we're putting out right now and be on the phone at the same time, and that's impossible.
Yeah.
I guess Stephanie said that.
Anyway.
Huh?
Go ahead. What did you say?
I was just going to say, Stephanie just said Whitmer has got them under lockdown for Thanksgiving in Michigan.
Oh,
Governor Whitmer.
no Thanksgiving dinners?
Well, I think you can only have so many family members in your household, up to, I think, 3 extra, 10 or something like that. But you can't have a big, large gathering over 10. I think that's what it is. But so a lot of people are canceling
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Even the Thanksgiving Day Parade in the Macy's, I guess they canceled too.
Wow.
And that's the first time I think
Yeah.
they've canceled for something like that. I mean, period, really.
Yeah.
And where's that at?
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in
Michigan.
New York.
Oh yeah. I think the Thanksgiving Day parade should be out.
Yeah.
I think that would be very irresponsible for them to put that on.
They could do a virtual. They could
Especially with
do.
the outbreak.
Wouldn't they be able to do like a rerun? Wouldn't they be able to do like a rerun or not a virtual, but a rerun of something like that?
I don't think so because the year is so important to it. The year is all
yeah.
over it. So last year's would be 2019, and so all the floats say 2019 and everything.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah, there's no way they could do it.
Yeah, it would be really
Yeah.
odd.
And
weird.
there's basically we knew there was going to be an outbreak of this stuff come cold and flu season.
Yeah, it was supposed to come
so-
back, and the colds and flus are going around. I see it all. I see it at work. I see a lot of people at work and a lot of the public.
I'm hearing sniffles.
A regular flow. Yeah, a lot of sniffles, a lot of coughs.
People are in the pharmacy area getting
Yeah.
a lot of head and cold medicine.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, so beware out there
Well-
that there's a lot of illnesses.
Well, I'm taking the vitamin D, the zinc, the elderberry, the vitamin D3 is what I'm on, but I'm taking like a D2 once a month or once a week, and then the other once a day. The 3.
Yeah, I'm taking elderberry, zinc, and vitamin C in one gummy, and then zinc, 50 milligrams of zinc, and then also I think it's 50 milligrams. So I'm taking 100 milligrams of vitamin D also each day.
Yeah, well, I'm
So
of
these
course.
are these are really good immune boosting supplements. And I got some off of I got mine off of my zinc off of Amazon, and had it shipped right to us because a lot of the Walgreens, a lot of the pharmacies. Sorry about that.
Hey, I've done it.
Are out of zinc because they, there was something put out somewhere that zinc and vitamin C and elderberry and all that stuff is good at preventing or boosting your immune system enough to stop you from having the deathly the deathly portion of this, and I mean, people are buying it out.
Yeah, I got the
So
immune
best
booster.
to do online shopping if you can.
Yeah, I got the immune
Yeah.
booster with the zinc, the elderberry, and the vitamin D. But the now, see, I'm taking all those other meds that I got in the hospital. I'm taking Eliquis now because that's actually helping me with the blood clots. But they said it's going to be a 3-month recovery for me for that because there were so many of them.
Oh,
They're-
the blood clots, blood thinners.
Yeah, the blood clots are now clumped together in safe spots to where they said as long as you take that Eliquis and the other antibiotics or whatever, the antibiotics have nothing to do with it, but they said as long as you take the Eliquis when you're supposed to, then it should start dissolving, and within 3 months they should be gone. So I'm still under 3 months.
Oh, so like this is gonna be a couple months battle for you.
Yes. So I'm still not.
Ah,
I'm still under the weather, sort of, but I'm doing better. My energy seems to be back. My taste just came back a few days ago. So
That's a strange symptom, don't you think?
what?
Taste and smell.
Taste and smell. Well, you can lose that when you have a common cold too.
I never
Yeah,
have,
yeah,
so I
that's what
wasn't
I was
aware of that. And it was never
Well, we
such a
never
big
really
deal that
paid
people
attention to
even
it.
mentioned
But we
it.
never really paid close attention as being serious to losing the taste and smell. It was not a big deal because it only lasted just
Yeah,
a few
but
days.
you
Well, and
have
I don't
sinus
think it's actually
infection.
as common with the common cold to lose your taste and smell.
Right.
You can, but most people don't. I mean,
No.
this is,
Yeah.
they're really talking about that with this. you
Yeah,
know,
that
because
was
it's
a new symptom that they came up with, especially like a few months after. They said that we have a new symptom. If you lose your taste or smell, that's something to look for.
Yeah.
But that's not what one of the original symptoms were.
Right,
It was
right.
the tightness of the chest.
And the
it was
common
breathing,
cold,
and-
that's not a common symptom of the common cold.
No.
Because I never heard
Well, I mean,
people
you lose
talking
some
about
of
that
your-
like
well, I
they
mean,
do with this. And I mean the people
anything
who had
that's
it.
sinus related, you're going to lose part of your sensation
Right.
of smell and part of your sensation of taste. Like, Mom, she lost her taste and smell. I don't. I have lost my sense of taste and smell, but not like my full sense of taste. I can still taste things. I just can't really smell them.
The
certain,
people I know
I
who've
can
had
certain
it.
meals, I could tell the difference between what I used to usually like Mountain Dew or something like that. I know what these taste like, and with the meals, it tasted like it was more like a spicy, sour taste, and some of it was bland. And I could tell that doesn't taste like a French fry, or that doesn't taste like chicken, or that. But now I can tell the difference now with the drinks and the meals that I can tell the taste is coming back.
Yeah, this is a difference. Now the people that, well, I guess it's different for everybody, but I know people who've had it who said they couldn't smell anything at all.
Right.
There was no smells different or smells less or smells more. There was no smell at all. They had absolutely no sense of smell, which is an odd thing.
Well,
That sounds neurological,
I can smell certain chemicals.
right?
Well, not really anymore, but I don't know. I have to admit I was a little freaked out whenever my sinuses started burning real bad.
Yeah,
I mean, my dad just died from COVID, so of course I'm going to be freaked out about everything.
yeah, and you should
You know?
be sensitive to things. To,
Right.
To
You-
be
and you will be.
aware. Yep.
So, I mean, I can taste tangy, I can taste sweet,
Yep. I
but
can.
anything that requires your nose to aromatic flavors, that's what you don't taste. Like I'm drinking cranberry juice right now. I can taste the tangy and sweet
But you can't
but that-
smell it.
after hint of cranberries that you get in your sinuses, because you taste a lot with your sinuses, whether you realize it or not.
Right. I remember hearing that.
But and the last time, I got sick really bad last February, and I never really paid attention to the taste because I was just so weak all the time, So
Scripture of
if I
today.
had COVID back, yes, follow instructions.
Yeah, that's what we went with is Scripture of the Day through Bible Gateway, which I highly recommend. It says Psalm 119, verse 18. Open my eyes to see the wonderful truths in your instructions.
Amen.
The wonderful truths. And you know, it's interesting that the Bible is so well integrated with itself and so well tied together. You know, we're supposed to rejoice in the truth when it tells us not to be anxious. It tells us to focus on things that are true in order to not be anxious.
Right.
Which to me,
Yeah.
if we're anxious, that's a sign that we are hanging on to something that's not true, that we know is not true, you know? And those things do
Yeah.
create anxiety. And in order to reduce your anxiety, you want to focus on what is true. And then this psalm here, it says, "Open my eyes to see the wonderful truths in your instructions," which his instructions, you know, is the word of God.
Keeping your eyes wide open to his instructions and reading them and following them to the T.
The closer you follow him, the more you will find God's word to be true. That it's, you know, that it's absolutely true. God is not a liar. He tells us these things because they're truths and they're important
This is
for
what
our
this is.
lives to be as he intended them to be when he created us and this world that we live in, and all the little creatures and plants and all the stuff that's in it.
That's what the Bible is. It's basic instructions before leaving Earth.
Yeah. Yep. I can imagine the Garden of Eden where they could just eat plants, you know.
I think
can't
we're going to
just
go
go
back
around
to that. What do you think?
You can't just go around eating plants now. I mean,
No.
we think about it that way because we go to a grocery store where they actually just have the plants that you can eat.
That was just wrong.
But if you just go outside your door and start eating the plants outside your house,
Nah.
you're going to die.
Yes. You got to investigate.
Yeah.
And I never really thought of it like that until Jay pointed it out.
And dandelion. Somebody said you can eat dandelions.
Will kill you.
So imagine, isn't that interesting though? But so the Garden of Eden was much like our grocery stores
That's what it
because
is.
it was full of the things that you can eat,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Except for the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then that it didn't corrupt the garden, but then they were thrown out of the garden where there were more plants that they couldn't eat. And I understand the fruit of the tree may be metaphorical for for something else, but
I thought about that.
I do think it's interesting that in the Garden of Eden they could just eat of plants, and they weren't eating animals. They were not.
There was no need to.
See how the reversal, the complete opposite of things in the garden is what was outside the garden. You can eat almost any animal you see, and it won't kill you. But you can't eat almost every plant that you see out just walking around. Most of those plants, or all of them in general, unless you're in somebody's garden, are plants you can't eat, and you shouldn't eat.
No.
You'll either get sick or die. I heard that on a podcast, which I thought was extremely interesting.
What about dandelions? Somebody said something about dandelions. I'm like, what?
Yeah, you can eat dandelions.
I didn't know you. I started hearing that. I'm like, that must be for. Maybe I was hearing an all natural doctor talk about that. I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
They
this
used to
says something
they can
about cattails too.
dandelion
If you know how to cook up or do something with cattails or something, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess Steve, Schultz, he was talking. He just said that he was in a famous superstore lately, and I guess there's a run on toilet paper. Is what he said. I guess they're clamping down and doing the counting again at that certain store, and they're also having limits on toilet paper and paper towel.
No, because of the election, maybe.
I don't know if they had anything to do with it or not. I assume so because they mentioned that right after. I wasn't sure if it was a COVID thing because it's increased here in Missouri or if it was.
It's interesting. I went to the North Walmart last night, I think it was. No, it would have been Friday night. And it looked like it looked like right after the COVID thing. You know, the shelves were bare. You couldn't hardly
in the
find
increase,
anything.
I noticed I started seeing a decrease in certain things again.
Yeah, there was like half the shelves were full, where there was a space here and then a vacancy here with nothing in it. So I thought that was interesting. But then I go to the go to the Sunshine one, and it's not that way.
Yeah, certain.
Yeah, I guess it depends on where you're at.
Is it
Weird, huh?
because of the smaller store, or is it because
It may have been the day. It may have been right because of the election, and I hadn't been to the Sunshine one. So the Sunshine one may have been the same way. It's just that I didn't go there that day. You know, if there may have been a run on all that stuff. I noticed T-shirts. Come on now, get some color in our T-shirts.
yeah?
You know, I'm trying to buy T-shirts, and it's black or gray. I have a whole bunch of black and gray T-shirts. I need green.
We need to We need to color this world. You know.
I need
color it up.
forest green. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's my kind of T-shirt right there. Forest green.
Oh yeah.
Maybe army green. You know.
Hunter green.
Yeah. I
Hunter
want one-
orange.
a blue T-shirt, navy blue. Love
Hey.
navy blue T-shirts. Red.
Lime.
Red. I'm not a lime guy.
Oh well, no, I like orange and I like red,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm not a real lime guy. Even though I'm wearing this today, I'm proud to
Autism
wear it.
awareness. Are you trying to bring autism awareness?
Right.
Extravaganza.
That's right.
When was that?
That was that last year, Matt?
Huh?
Was that last year that they had the extravaganza for autism awareness?
No, that was at least 2 years ago.
Okay,
maybe
'cause-
3.
Well, then I'm wearing a 2 or 3 year old shirt, but
That's all right. A lot of people still like those shirts. When I wear it, I get a lot of comments on it because there's a lot more people out there that know and are affected by autism
yeah.
than people realize.
And they, I'm a walking billboard. People do stop and they don't stand there and read it, but they glance at it and they say that's really awesome. So
Yeah.
because more
I
and
had
more
one
stuff
guy
like
at
this
work
is
that
getting
wanted one for him in his life.
right. I think when we do that advertising for like autism or PTSD or whatever, people are now more aware of it than they used to be. Usually they just kind of glance at it and walk by, but now they kind of, you see them more or less staring at it or glancing at it longer. And sometimes they'll stop you and ask you about it, or they'll say, I agreed. And so that's just the way it's been the last couple of years as far as I know.
So I love this Psalm 119, and I'm way ahead of that. I went all the way back to verse
Morning,
1.
Craig Hubbard.
And Alpha, the first letter of the alphabet, the beginning, and they use these this writing. Psalm 119 was an elementary school teaching tool that they taught them the letters of the alphabet with. And so Alpha. So listen to this. This is such a beautiful, beautiful writing. Joyful are people of integrity who follow the instructions of the Lord. Joyful are those who obey his laws and search for him with all their hearts. They do not compromise with evil, and they walk only in his paths. You have charged us to keep your commandments carefully. Oh, that my actions would consistently reflect your decrees. Then I will not be ashamed when I compare my life with your commands. As I learn your righteous regulations, I will thank you by living as I should. I will obey your decrees. Please don't give up on me. That's the teaching for Alpha, the first letter of the Greek alphabet. Is that no, not Greek. Is it Greek?
What is it?
Yeah, Greek.
Greek.
Alpha.
Alpha, yes.
Isn't that beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
It is. Oh, man.
And I would say that is good for the first letter also, the beginning, which also represents
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, because he's the beginning and the end, the Alpha, the Omega. He's the beginning and the end and everything in between. The best way of describing God is, I heard somebody describe him as, a blimp watching a parade. I know that sounds weird, but like he could see the beginning of the parade, the end of the parade, and everything in between. So he knows what our life, not just humanity as a whole, but individually as a person. And I think that's amazing.
So how have the
It's
scriptures
amazing.
brought comfort to you through this time where your father's passed away and it's only been a week today? since he has. It just seems too soon almost. It
He
feels,
does.
you know,
It does
and
feel
it's
too
not.
soon. I mean, you're never like, hey, what I'm ready for? Death. No, I mean, you're never ready for it. I take solace in the fact that Dad would rather be absent from this body and present with the Lord than to be present in this body and absent from the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have no doubt where he's going or where he is. And he's got quite a legacy that he left behind, and it's a legacy of Jesus. The love of Christ.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To people who we may not feel deserve it, but he was always quick to forgive people. He was always quick to love them regardless of what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
He never stopped praying for me, and he never told me I told you so whenever I'd mess up in life, and would pay the price. Because whenever you make mistakes, you have repercussions that you have to face.
Yep.
Dad never told me I told you so. He was always there for me, and he's always there for everybody. Anybody that needed somebody to talk to,
He'd take the shirt off his back.
somebody to give them guidance, he was there.
Yeah, he'd take the shirt off his back if he could and give it to you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
With
I
not
watched
even
that man pray
not
with
an inkling.
complete strangers. Huh?
Not even an inkling. He wouldn't even give it a second thought. He was right there. I mean, he helped me in several ways, believe it or not, and just being a mentor for me. And he was a mentor for many others.
Oh, yeah.
He sure
Yeah, he was.
It might have been just a short sentence. It might have been just a nod or a smile, but that meant a lot.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, he was definitely got some big shoes to fill.
Can't
Definitely
fill
got some big
those.
shoes to fill. No,
I think that's
but we could try.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting, that he did seek the Lord with all his heart.
Mm-hmm.
His life was a continuously changing and a testimony of repentance, and how you continue to seek the Lord, and it's like a dying to the flesh daily. The flesh would always lead us in a direction every day, and it always pulls us in the wrong direction. And he constantly fought that and worked in the right direction continually. And you can imagine that wasn't always easy, but he also, like it was saying in the scripture that we read, he had the joy of the Lord in his life, and you could see that clearly daily. He was filled with the joy of the Lord. He did not lament or regret or feel like he missed out on anything, because he had continually repented in his life and continually sought after the Lord and fought, to stay on the right path. And it is a testament of the joy of the Lord, and how unreal but true it is.
Mm-hmm.
You'd
Though
think
the sorrows
pursuing,
may last through the night, his joy comes with the morning.
yeah, you'd think
Amen.
you'd think that pursuing the fleshly desires and successfully achieving and gaining and having the things that the flesh desires would bring you joy. But rarely do you see somebody who's joyful who does that. But you see Uncle Bruce, who continued a life of repentance and worked towards the Lord, obeyed the Lord's word, and believed in the the Lord's word, and strived to seek the Lord and be closer to the Lord in his life, and how he had joy in it, and he was without regret. That's what he taught us.
So Steve Schultz, everybody, we will let you know when and where the service will be held. Right now, he's been cremated, so we don't have to decide right away. We're waiting on some paperwork for his DD-214 to be able to get his military honors and stuff. So we will let everybody know. Good morning, Marcia. Good morning, Steve Schultz. Good morning, Everybody, sorry, I'm just now logging in and
You know,
and watching this.
I was going to ask
Um,
you the same thing off air when if there was services, and I had a funny feeling. I think you told me that he was being cremated, but I wasn't sure. Somebody asked me. They said, "Well, when are services?" I'm like, I don't know. So
That's undecided at this point.
okay,
The date and time of service is undecided because we might have two. We might have one for mom and the direct family, but we know other people want to be able to honor him. So we're talking about it. We're getting it figured out because Dad didn't want anybody to make a big fuss over him. He said. I mean, it's hard not to.
right.
But
Celebration
we'll
of
keep
life,
everybody
definitely.
posted. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm liking and sharing this video as we speak. I meant to do that earlier, but all right. So be sure you guys like and share this video as well. No, I'm not at the church. I'm at home. I'm actually in the camper right now because I don't want to wake Mom up. She needs to get her rest because she's getting over it too. So, because as soon as Dad got sick, they were in the same bed for
Right.
days before Dad passed away. So, we'll let everybody know what's going on with that. So, I did read go on to axmediagroup.com and look at the tribute that Dr. Jim Whining wrote about Dad.
Wow.
It's a very moving piece.
Yes.
If you haven't read it yet, that's a really good. It's really good to do that. It was really good, and Jim, if you're listening, thank you for writing such a beautiful tribute to my dad.
That was quite a tribute.
And thank you everybody for your prayers. There was a little period of time there that I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it, psychologically, emotionally. I just thank you, Jay, for being there. And it was a pretty hard day whenever we received that message received that news from the hospital that Dad had passed away. I've had anxiety about Dad getting this and passing away for like the last 9-10 months. So, and I've told you that numerous times, Jay. I was like, I just worry about getting it and bringing it home to Dad. I don't care about myself because I'm more than likely. I mean, we don't know if it's our time to go or not, but I'm more than likely going to live through it. Where Dad had so many underlying issues, where he's had 3 heart attacks, congestive heart failure, diabetes, Agent Orange poisoning, plus he'd been battling a bladder infection since January of last year. So his immune system was shot. The only way to keep him from catching it 100% would be for him to stay home all the time and not go out, and for us to not go in and see him and just completely seclude ourselves from each other and from the world. And Dad refused to do that. And, that's okay. I mean, he lived life at his own pace, 72 years old, and he was still out and about all the time. So
He didn't act 72 in a lot of ways.
No.
How's
No.
Scott doing?
He was doing the right thing too,
yeah,
you can't
Yeah.
stop being in obedience to the Lord just because there's an illness out there, and I think he was careful when he knew he had it, of course.
How's Scott
Yeah.
holding up, Matt?
He's struggling.
say what?
How's Scott? How's he? Him and Marcia.
Say what?
How are Scott and Marcia?
How are Scott and Marcia?
Yeah, how are they holding up with all this?
I think Marcia is still watching, but their help has been pivotal in this as far as like helping with Mom and stuff. Good morning, Janine Moore. Sorry, I believe I haven't talked to Marcia and Scott this morning. But everybody's fighting a little bit of a cold or something, and we're praying over each other, and we're sticking together through all of this, and we've got a lot of offers of people helping us out if we need it. So I mean, we are more than blessed through this. I'll be talking to Scott and Marcia here in a little bit. I hope Steve Schultz says he talked to Brother Bruce 3 weeks ago at Wally. Oh, at the grocery store. So that's cool. Because I think when your dad took your mom to the doctor was probably where he got it. Well, he started, I don't know, he started, and we really don't know where
it's
he
all
got
speculation.
it. He still went out and about all the time. Yeah, and I'm not, we can't do that to ourselves really, because whether he got it from me or from it, we can't do that to ourselves. Because, I mean,
it also leads you down a path
this,
of looking for somebody to blame.
Right, and that doesn't end well for anybody.
No.
So
Yeah.
I know
if somebody's clearly to blame and it's negligent or malicious,
I don't think we'll ever know.
That's one thing. And this bug is highly contagious, and there's no telling where you get it.
We can't,
unless somebody intentionally gave it to you.
And 100% that person gave it to you.
Yeah. And did it purposely.
Yeah, and even then,
if you go around licking other people's
no
cookies
proof of
and
it.
stuff,
Yeah.
drinking out of their
if
drink.
you're doing that, you're a real horrible person. Licking other people's cookies and you think you have COVID. I mean, what kind of person are you?
Well, I
Or
took
coughing
somebody's drink at
intentionally.
work and started drinking it and didn't even realize it until I tasted it, and I threw their drink away. Because I had drank out of it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to leave it there for them to drink out of after me. I don't have COVID, or at least I don't think I do. And so if I have, but even still, regardless of that, I believe I do have a cold. So, you don't want people to even catch a cold.
Right. You wouldn't share your drink even if you did have a cold. I've always been taught as a kid, when you have a cold or you don't share your drinks.
We
and
weren't
share
supposed
your
to
food.
share drinks at all, ever.
That's what
Mom-
I remember
Mom-
growing
Yeah,
up.
no, I mean,
Drilled that into us. You never share
Yep.
anybody's drink. You never share.
even before COVID.
Never use a thermometer
You
without
know?
cleaning it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All of those things were.
I learned that since I was a little
Wash
kid.
your hands.
Don't they do any tracking? Well, we could. I mean, they didn't really do any tracking because about 3 or 4 days before his fever spiked, he asked me for some Robitussin because he had a bit of a sore throat, and so we started monitoring his temperature immediately, and he was okay, and then on not this past Friday, but the Friday before. Wow, I can't believe it's already been over a week. Yeah, wash your hands, Larry. Definitely wash your hands and lots of sanitizer. But that Friday, his pulse or his fever spiked it went to 102, and then I was on the phone with the ER or with the ambulance, and 20 minutes after that, 20 minutes after that, I took it again, and it was at 103.7, and they got Dad to the hospital. They got his pulse ox back up and his fever down, and they sent him home with an oxygen concentrator. He was good for a couple of days. And then Monday afternoon, I went and checked his pulse ox, and it was down in the low 80s, upper 70s. And I called the ambulance again. They took him in, and then Tuesday, probably around what time? I lost the time that day. I think it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I think. I called to check on him, and they said he had passed away like 30 minutes before that.
Yeah.
So, and then it's all kind of a blur for a while.
And
But,
it probably still
yeah.
will be.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, I had to go in and tell Mom about it, and that was bad.
Sure will, Steph.
Telling somebody. It's never good. Never good when you have to tell your family things like that.
No.
But, And I'm pretty sure it is still kind of surreal, you know,
Yep.
like he's gone to the store, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it'll hit me hard eventually. But you know, I've surrounded myself with a bunch of people who love the Lord and will help to guide me through those dark times. You know,
And I'm sure your church family has really
also got-
strengthened you.
yeah. And I've also got God. You know,
Right.
number one, first and foremost, I got the Lord and the promise that I'll be able to. I mean, I really don't know how anybody does this without Jesus in their lives. To be honest with you.
Not now. I mean, this is something really that you need to lean yourself on the Lord and not your own understanding.
Yeah. Yeah. They were getting ready to, Steve Schultz, they were getting ready to call me whenever I called. They said the lady had said, we were getting ready to call you. He passed away about a half an hour ago. She said they tried to revive him for 30 minutes, but he basically went in his sleep. So, it wasn't, you know, any suffering involved except for that he just got tired and went to sleep and then woke up in the arms of the Lord. And that's the promise that I lean on, that, you know, he fell asleep and woke up in the arms of Christ. So
Once he opened back his eyes up, he was staring at his heavenly Father.
he's doing way better than I am right now. He's in a far better place. So, but hey, it's time for us to get out of here, guys.
Can you believe it? Man.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the morning drive today. We'll be back on tomorrow, same time, same channel, but be sure and tune in next for
Brighter Living Live.
Brighter Living Live. It's been so long, Steve. Brighter Living Live with Steve Mickey Mac-tastic. I guess his guest is going to be on the phone. That is Cindy Flowers going to be your guest today.
Yes.
All right. So we look forward to that. And then, again, we'll be back on same time tomorrow. Be sure and keep us all prayed up, and we'll keep you prayed up. So until then, God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
And this has been
The Morning Drive. Did you say morning?
No, I said morning.
Oh.